What you say? What you say then?
Well, I'd like to thank...
I'd like to thank
Ross Abbott.
Ross Abbott.
Confirmed they're going to be playing this afternoon. The last couple of days it's been difficult, I expect.
Yeah, it's been difficult not knowing what's happening.
First booking of the contest.
Yes. Hey, football, eh? A beautiful game. Nothing quite like it. It's like poetry, isn't it? The country's finest athletes pitting their silky skills against each other in honest combat. Let's just sit. I'm going to try over there. Excuse me, mate. I think you're sitting in my seat. Mate, I think... See, the thing is, you don't need to be a football fan to appreciate the sportsmanship, the valour, the mutual respect in which players hold their fellow professionals. Supreme fitness and agility, the ability to overcome adversity in bloodless harmony. And the adoration of the crowds who come to pay homage to this very finest expression of art in its highest possible form. I think I'll just sit down here and soak up the atmosphere. I reckon there'll be a full house today.
Here, wear a real shirt.
Am I on? Can you just feel that adrenaline pumping? You know, football stadiums are palaces of beautiful, artistic expression. But sod that, let's see some nutters.
Oh, Bruce Grobbelaar, that is lovely to watch.
Well, let's face it, you've got to be totally bonkers to be a goalkeeper. And Bruce Grobbelaar is totally bonkers.
Well, Chapman made an inventive run. What can he do? Oh, Grobbelaar's missed it. Can Chapman get the cross in? Can Leeds make sure here? Two substitutes failed to provide. Oh, and it's come off the corner flag. It's still in play. Cross from Wallace. Cantona! And that is his hat-trick. Grobbelaar missed the cross, and in many ways an extraordinary way to end the match.
No, goalies don't come any nuttier than Sir Bruce, except maybe the Mad Dane.
The man in green to face the man in yellow. Cross delivered in. Neville. Now Amakachi. Amakachi might score. Schmeichel is not back. Still Amakachi. They got two back now. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
The entire world was willing Amakachi to score then, but he obviously found the idea of Schmeichel behind him even more terrifying than seeing Schmeichel standing in front of him. See, the thing I really love about Peter Schmeichel is the way he never, but never blames anybody else for his own mistakes.
And Lang is up again, and the goalkeeper struggles to get there, but does really well. And as usual, follows the save with a volley.
Then there's poor old Dave Besant. He captained a cup final winning team, was the first person to save a penalty in the cup final, and was in an England World Cup squad. But what will he be remembered for?
Shelton to Newell, and Bristol City keeping possession well. It's hit long, but it's worth doing. Oh, they've missed it, they've missed it, Bobby Turner! After 4 minutes, Bristol City score. And what a mistake by Dave Besant.
And who can forget that great Welsh keeper, Gary Sprake, a member of the great Leeds side of the 1970s, capped 37 times by Wales. But all people remember is his teensy-weensy bad habit of letting in shots that my granny could have saved. It is tough being a goalie, though, as poor old Eddie Needs Vicky discovered.
Great flick in from Tynan to Lowndes. Got to go all the way. There's a chance for his second goal. Oh. It's an obvious one, surely. So Niedzwiecki to face the penalty kick from Tynan.
He saves a penalty, sportingly informs the ref that he moved before the kick was taken, bounces it back so Wolves can have another go.
It's saved, but the referee was at this moment looking at Niedzwiecki. In fact,
Gets sent off.
he sent him off.
Where's the justice in that?
Well, that's very, very sad. The lad reacting because he'd saved the penalty, he'd obviously moved. And the referee had blown for the kick to be taken again.
I like the way he always gets the ref to hold on to his jumper while he changes into something a little more comfortable.
Guess what he said to the goalkeeper, to the referee rather.
Trots off for his early bath.
As a disappointed, perhaps furious Eddie Niedzwiecki runs off.
Oh, here it is. Wouldn't have happened in Lev Yashin's day. Old Lev, the great Russian bear. He was regarded as the greatest goalie in the world. And if the ref made a decision that he didn't agree with, he just gave him a clip round the ear.
A decision that didn't please Lev Yashin in the Russian goal.
West Ham was so impressed by Lev, they introduced the Yashin rumba whenever penalty was awarded against them. Mad.
Surely outside the box, the vehement protest went unpunished by the referee. And John Robertson took the opportunity to write Nottingham Forest into the record books.
No, the West Ham players were just asking the ref if he wanted to come for a drink after the game. Honest. Hey, takes a brave ref, though, to give a penalty against the Mad Dogs of Wimbledon. just to prove Besant really was good once. The fun really begins, though, when keepers venture into the great unknown, the vast, mysterious expanse of land beyond their own penalty area. Once out in that great void, you see, panic sets in quickly and they'll kick anything that moves. Well, at least they try to.
Maradona, early for Diaz. And the keeper's committed, still Diaz. Sanson's getting back to cover and succeeds in doing so. Verratti's kept it in play. Melford's come off his line. Verratti, he's got to get it into the box. Keegan's waiting. That was so close to Keegan's fourth. Melford had committed himself by coming out to try and beat Verratti to the ball. He didn't succeed.
I mean, think of the greats of the game. Bobby Charlton didn't need a silly haircut to be a great player, did he?
Good ball by Best to Charlton. Good shot, good goal!
In the old days, of course, footballers had the regimented short back and sides, didn't wear shin pads, kicked around the equivalent of half a ton of concrete and still had change from half a crown. Then, along came George Best.
It's Best on the ball. Driven wide. Yes! Clements. He's found Best. It's Best with just stalls between him and a goal. Best surely, yes! It's one each. England with no cover at all, but what a goal from George Best.
Soccer players have been looking like big girls' blouses ever since. There was one time, down here at Barnet, behind the goals, when the crowd was so shocked when they saw Zeke Rowe's new haircut, they actually fell onto the pitch in amazement, right here. Excuse me, over here if you don't mind. Thank you very much. That's better. Yes, and there was the ref, you see, quite rightly ordering Zeke away to go and cover the offending Barnet. Oh, I do like to see managers taking responsibility for the players' haircuts. Rufus Brevitt was caught wearing an outrageous new hairdo for QPR without a licence last season, but as soon as he noticed, Ray Wilkins, bless him, did the honourable thing and instantly pulled him off.
Manchester United will hope.
Now there's a good lad. Go and play with it in the privacy of the dressing room. Too often in the modern game, though, players are allowed to get away with haircuts that frankly don't belong in netball, let alone soccer. Did you notice the way Peacock tripped over his hair there? And here's some geezer from Sheffield United guilty of 3 bookable offences. Dreadful tackle, appalling haircut, obscene shorts. Like most things in football, though, the most disturbing trend in the modern game was initiated by Jimmy Hill. Some refs have actually tried to cut it out of the game altogether.
Oh, that was Lawrenson. And the referee's gone to his pocket this time. Souness and Hansen were guilty of trips earlier and they went unpunished. But I think Lawrenson's going to pay the penalty.
Now, some commentators thought Mark Lawrenson was booked for that elegant challenge, but I happen to know that the ref was offering to lend him a razor. I mean, you wouldn't go to tea with your mum looking like that, would you? So why do it when 50,000 football fans are watching you? Steve Archibald of Spurs was another one. He always trotted on the pitch looking like he spent the previous night on a park bench.
Oh, Gary Brooks, and Raymond Brooks takes it. Oh there, and that's got off the post, and it's Archibald who puts it in. That's a very, very unfortunate moment for Coleraine, an unfortunate way to go a goal down. The goal scorer, Steve Archibald, the time, 12 minutes.
And then you've got all the copycat beardies. Here's Gary Birtles of Nottingham Forest with an accurate reconstruction of Jimmy Hill's historic original beard. Oh, and the Wurzel Gummidge character you see here is something called Dickie Guy, who played for, you guessed it, Wimbledon. You see, the Dons were the crazy gang even in the non-league days, and when they came up against Leeds in the Cup, Leeds were so shocked by the hideous sight that greeted them in the Wimbledon goal, they just couldn't get the ball into the net. Well, apart from this one.
Clark to Gray, Jordan far post, Clark near, McKensley between them. Giles, oh, it's taken a deflection, it's in! Oh, what a tragic goal to give away!
Anyway, one thing led to another and suddenly we had moustaches. John Walk, the 2,000-year-old footballer, and Gary Penrice auditioning for James Bond. And here's Jerry Gow, fresh from failing the audition to join Crosby, Stills and Nash. Even worse, the sideburns. These were actually invented by Chelsea. Fact.
It's Jason Johnsey with the free kick, floated in. Hutchinson a goal! What a beauty!
And made it all the way into the England team.
Hughes, that's useful. Francis, surely! Francis, goal! Brilliant!
And then came soccer's equivalent of the skull and crossbones, the headband.
Now then, Gary Gillespie. He's got men up in support. Good running by Houghton. Aldridge is square. It's taken a deflection. Oh! And it fell kindly for Besson.
This whole horrifying trend in football of facial hair and headbands reached a crushing climax in the 1983 Cup final, Brighton versus Manchester United. The crowd thought they'd stumbled onto the film set of Planet of the Apes as Brighton were led out by the Neanderthal man himself, Steve Foster. It was contagious too. Even the Royals, when introduced to the players, started sprouting beards when they got introduced to Steve Foster. Yeah, it took me 6 months to grow, Duke. Glad you like it. Oh, him? He's some bloke without a beard. Wonder who plays for us. What players don't understand is that we don't want to see them pouncing around in designer hairdos, ponytails, beards, or pansy kits. We want to see footballers looking, well, like footballers. Hard, mean, macho. I'm not saying that they need to be ugly, but sometimes it helps.
From Merseyside, everyone loves him to death, and he's been a great ambassador to Everton Football Club. The other side of him is he winds everyone up. He's always up to something. He tells people what he thinks straight to the face. As soon as he comes into training, he's having bought someone for some reason or other.
course, the real curse of the modern game is shirts. It's not the fact that Manchester United introduced 28 new kicks a season to fleece their own supporters that everyone finds so appalling. It's the fact that those new shirts are always so unspeakably tasteless. Nice goal, same about the strip. You'd think Eric had enough problems without dressing him up as a pantomime dame. And Man United have never had taste, have they? For sheer fashion unconsciousness, though, Manchester United are probably only matched by Liverpool, who must have travelled several continents trying to find something
As revolting as this.
Well struck penalty from John Barnes. Shame about those shirts, though.
Or this little beauty modelled by a sylph-like Sammy Lee. I don't think. Coventry have had some corkers too.
Thompson far side, Thomas. Burley for Ipswich, Thomas. Still Thomas. Oh, I say, what a shot and what a goal!
Palace kits, though, have always been spot on.
And Brooks finding Mabber well. What can he do here? He's going to go it alone. Can he find the shots? No. At least not one worthy of the name. Hughes wants to set himself up. Oh, what a shot, what a goal!
The nation had cause to thank Sutton United for dumping Torquay out of the Cup a couple of seasons ago and sparing us any further sightings of this ghastly colour scheme.
5 years ago. This season they're up to their old tricks again. Dave Jones making the most of a defensive error 13 minutes from time to send third division Torquay the way of Sutton's first round league opponents.
Horrible, wasn't it? Or this distressing monstrosity modelled by Stockport County. Stockport.
16 minutes from time. He says he's never scored a better one. Nor indeed can Stockport County remember a better cup day.
In some cup ties now, though, instead of deciding matches on penalties, the result is determined by which kit inspired the highest number of migraine attacks in the crowd. Fact.
First real glimpse of the Barnet goal there for the part-timers. David Shepherd, who's the son of the Crawley manager, got in the cross, and that cross got in behind Barnet.
They actually gave sunglasses to the crowd before this game between Bournemouth and Nuneaton.
Looping header put second division Bournemouth ahead 6 minutes after half-time. The home side had dominated and there was little sign things would change. But change they did. A deflection off Watson into the path of Peter Green, who gloriously volleyed home a 79th minute equaliser. 2,500 travelling fans shared in the celebrations.
No, let's face it, you can keep all your pretty shirts, crappy haircuts and fancy facial hair. What really gets the blood pumping is the sight of a player ferociously kicking balls in the air. Anyone's ball.
McFarlane. And that was a fair charge, but unfortunately their heads have collided.
A fair charge?
McFarlane would...
Oh, that's right, Eric. Can't have Sheffield United players putting their arms round you. Don't know where they've been. Uh-oh. You better duck now, because here comes Vinny.
Ball to Paul Parker. Cantona. Oof! David Ellery will have to defuse it here, I think. Jones on Cantona. A lot of United players wanted to defend the Frenchman's honour.
That's balmy. How can you defend Vinnie Jones?
Scott Fitzgerald. Jones. Oof! And well. Can only be Jones again.
Well, he's on thin ice now, he really is. This ball's gone right, he's gone straight in. Oh!
Nice one, Vinny. What we really want to see, though, is hints, right?
Centre-half Dave Watson personally got his head to it.
And that's the first yellow card of the match. And it goes to the youngest player on the pitch, young Neville.
That's not hints. But hang on a minute. Barry Horn has got to wreak his revenge somewhere, and who better to do it on than...
Ince.
Nice one, Barry. Oi, don't even think about it, Ince, or you'll find yourself transferred to Italy. Uh-oh, too late. Now, watch closely here. The keeper comes herring out of his goal, decks the forward and flattens a poor guy who spends 20 minutes thinking he's just been introduced to Mike Tyson. His mates, though, get wind of what's in the referee's mind here. Finally reacquainted with planet Earth, and he gets sent off. Sometimes, though, there is justice. Let's all laugh at Man United.
Oh, good mistake by Muir, and it's Jackson. And a penalty. Manchester United could conceivably have thrown away this ridiculous point now. A mistake by Muir sends Cliff Jackson away, and Stepney has to bring him down. Just 15 minutes left. Soule takes the penalty for Crystal Palace. And, well, good gracious me. And it's a goal. It's a goal now. Nobody moved to help.
It's a cruel fact that some teams do send out guerrillas to neutralise the game's great players. Pelé was kicked out of the 1966 World Cup by a collection of man mountains from Portugal.
Pelé. Oh, foul. Oh, I thought twice, actually. The referee let it go the first time.
Pelé was injured for the second successive World Cup, but this time Brazil just couldn't play without him.
Same World Cup, of course, when the Argentina captain Antonio Ratin was sent off against England, apparently for saying rude words in Spanish to a German referee. Or maybe the ref was just jealous of his hair.
Ratin is sent off.
But before we start feeling too smug, remember the first Wembley appearance of a promising young Argentinian kicked halfway to Highbury by English defenders? His name? Diego Maradona.
Ball with Maradona now. Oof! Oh dear, oh dear. That really was a question of Watson's timing. Totally beaten by the skill of Diego Maradona. He was hours late. I mean, just look at the timing on this challenge. He'd taken it away from him. He was going through, but Watson goes in with the right leg and catches Maradona's left. Maradona. Oh, he's beaten too. That's liquid football from the Argentinian. Still Maradona. Penalty. Kenny Sansom can't believe it. A penalty kick to Argentina. The Argentinian had beaten both men. Cut inside. And there can be no question that Kenny Sansom brought him down in the area. And Argentina have a penalty. England have only conceded one this season at home.
Oh. There is something deliciously satisfying about hitmen attempting to foul skillful players and not getting near enough to do it. One of the most thrilling sights on a football pitch is when two titans collide head-on.
Well, David Batty getting stuck into it now. Well, I don't think he'll get any more serious than that once they start to play under the Premier League banner. Here's Hughes, trying to change it in 95. He's got inside Unsworth. Oof. Bit of push and shove there, but it's a goal kick. It's not very often Mark Hughes comes off second best in a physical challenge like that. And look at this. It's just bull fighting bull.
Well, Mark, we used to actually swap our shirts at the end of a game.
It's Placed into the box, easy for Torsvet. Oh, and a little bit of a flare up there between Stewart and Adams. The referee wants to speak to both parties. Adams still pushing around. Stewart going over as well. He offers a handshake, but it's declined from Adams. Don't exactly know what happened. Referee talking to both. I don't think there's going to be any cards. Adams still tries to prove his point.
The 1970 Cup final between the glowering Yorkshiremen of Leeds and the Kings Road Cavaliers of Chelsea was swimming in private grudges.
Notice Hunter's gone back into his normal centre-back role. It's Clark to Lorimer. And Dempsey again. And notice Giles hanging with a loose ball. Gray. Oh, he should have slotted it through too. Oh, he's hit the bar!
Did you see that? Billy Bremner just gave Chopper Harris a swift uppercut under the ref's nose and nobody took a blind bit of notice.
His normal centre-back role.
Not even Chopper. That was the way Billy Bremner always liked to greet his friends.
But what a soft goal, another one in a long list of soft goals. At Wembley, and there's a fight going on between Hunter and Hutchinson. Stopped by Osgood. Stopped by Osgood. And a ball by Giles. And the Bremner calming things down. And it's Johnny Hollins who took the full weight of that. Bremner, number 4. Oh, it is brought down by Hollins. Free kick to Chelsea. Tommy Baldwin injured, no score. And it's a goal! It's a goal! I think it's Charlton. Now they're packed in defence. Hollins. Hutchinson. Osgood. Oh, it's Charlton almost put for his own goal.
We've seen some epic tussles down the years. The 1962 World Cup produced some blinders.
And Barini took a kick at a player then. Well, this is absolutely ridiculous. Barini took an open kick at a player who was nowhere near the ball. And he's off the field. He's being sent right off. And there we go again. That was one of the neatest left hooks I've ever seen. Sanchez. Oh, and that was one of the worst tackles I think I've ever seen. Sanchez brought it.
And the final count of worst tackles David Coleman had ever seen that day checked in at 345. The 1985 Everton-Manchester United Cup final was also a bit of a classic.
Hughes appeared to be fouled, at least thought he was. Sheedy knocks the ball forward, shot offside surely. And Graham Robson's going to be booked. Stevens again covers. Now it's Graham Moran. Oof. Ball fall down.
Football takes a long time to learn. 22 international players, poor people, and what do? You play modern tactics. But it's livening up now.
Right side, young Stapleton off, and he's taken out by Ratcliffe. He admits the error. McGrath. Oh, a mistake by McGrath, and Reed's in. Oh, he's taken out by Kevin Moran. Yes, the number 6. That has to be a booking at the very least. I have a feeling that if Reed could have passed that ball a moment earlier, then he would have got past Kevin Moran. In fairness, Moran did go to play the ball, but oh dear, that is a horrendous tackle. It looks as if Peter Willis is going to send Moran off. United players surrounding him. I don't know what's quite going on. I think Kevin Moran is going off the field. It's the first time a player has been sent off in an FA Cup final. United players following Peter Willis around. They can't believe it. Kevin Moran has been told to leave the field. Stapleton trying to restrain him. And with 11 minutes to go, United down to 10 men. Peter Reid trying to console him, but there's not much he can really say.
More worrying still are the fashion trends on the bench. Once it was Bill Shankly and Jock Stein, all craggy features, rosy cheeks and shipyard language. Then all of a sudden, managers thought they were on the catwalk. Guess who started it? And don't even ask what's going on here. Did I say anything about a bung? Here's Graham Souness explaining to his players about that heart bypass op. The modern breed of manager has even started looking like something out of a K's catalogue. Here's Ray Wilkins, power dressing for that all-important board meeting. And Mr. Kevin Keegan, modelling something a little more casual for that trendy man-about-town look. Oh look, here's some Manchester United players practising to be Kevin Keegan when they grow up. And there's Andy Cole, suddenly realising the full horror of Manchester United's fashion sense. Here, you want to see those suits they make Man United wear? No wonder Incy left. But nothing is guaranteed to make a footballer behave more badly than that orgasmic moment when they score a goal! Yes!
Ball comes through. And Klinsmann's making a good run. Rosenthal's with it, but he squares it to Sheringham. Goal! Sheringham scores! Tottenham have scored! Unsworth floats the free kick in. Stewart's up there. Ferguson making a nuisance himself. Watson! It's there! Everton have scored! It's the skipper, Dave Watson. Goodison goes bananas. So does Ferguson. Goal, Everton!
This guy was quite rightly booked for trying to escape over the barbed wire.
It's a long kick upfield from Schmeichel. Searching out the front men, he's found Hughes. He's got Giggs in support. Uses Giggs. Giggs sharp on the overlap, and he's found Sharp. 1-0. Lee Sharp, halfway through the first half. Attack from Teddy Sheringham. Klinsmann! Jurgen Klinsmann for Spurs! Goal! Jerry Francis is thrilled. Spurs are in the semi-finals.
Now, keep your eye on that copper. Ooh, looks like a pitch invasion. Off he goes to stop it. Maybe it was just his tea time. And who could forget this? Oh, and look, here's the Wrexham team noticing Matthew Le Tissier in the crowd.
Cross comes in, flicked on, it's fallen to right, might try one, and it's in, off Strachan.
Oh, poor Strachan, Mark. He had a great game. That's really unlucky for the lad.
And what a blow for Gordon Strachan.
10 agonising seconds summed up Millwall's season. David Thompson and Keith Brannigan suffered a complete communications breakdown.
And there's a slight touch on it, and I think it was a defender anyway, and Daly goes here, crosses it in, and number 5, David May, into his own net. Ball falls toward us, looking up, and that's a lovely ball through to Marshall. Still Marshall, oh, it's in! What a fluky goal! Ian Marshall. Corner comes in. And she, oh dear, it's into her own net. Number 8.
I'm saying nothing. It's also a terrible wind-up for fans when somebody flukes a goal and then starts camping it up for the cameras. Peter Osgood scored some amazing goals in his time. This wasn't one of them.
Cross floating in, flicked on by Baldwin. Osgood coming, Osgood! It's in! Oh, almost an accident. His face says it all.
A cheeky young pup, that Osgood. Here's a couple of classic moves from the training ground of Sheffield United.
Long ball upfield. Gillespie's chasing. Gillespie's got through. Should be an easy ball for the keeper. Oh, he's kicked it straight to Gillespie, and a goal for Newcastle. Well, it's a goal, but Manchester City don't know what's going on.
It's there! No, it isn't. Yes, it isn't! No, it isn't. Yes, yes, it is! Oh, dear God, no wonder there's crowd trouble.
with football's latest eccentric craze in town. A former player, Imre Varadi, known mysteriously as Imre Banana, was responsible. Now they come in all shapes and sizes.
So, the craze for blow-up bananas was started by Manchester City fans in honour of Imre Varadi, who was affectionately called Imre Banana. Why? And who invented the football rattle? I think we should be told. Anyone know who invented the football rattle? Really? Paul Gascoigne? Well, I learn something new every day. Anybody got any Gaza clips?
The mounting for a trial game for Gascoigne. Oh, the referee didn't like that challenge. Now is he going to go to the byline? Here's what a curl. Oh, and what a goal! From Steve Bull. Gascoigne. Thank you very much. Is Gascoigne going to go for it? Here's, you know. Oh, what a goal! Poor Gascoigne. Schoolboy's own stuff. But the man tracking in is number 5, David Howells. Oof! And that is a tough challenge, to say the least. Gascoigne just walks away.
And you can see he walks through, and that is even worse than I first thought. He followed through into what looks like the stomach, in fact.
Glover. That's a good little ball forward. Oh, Gary Charles has made a good run. Oof, oh dear. Gascoigne went in, Bull at the gate. And he looks injured.
Oh, Gaza, eh? Don't make them like that anymore, do they? Did you notice the way he kicked Parker of Notts Forest in the chest in the cup final and then wandered off picking his nose? Yeah, tell you what, it's getting late. I think the lads must have missed the bus again. Can't see there being a match on here today. I'm for a curry. I'd advise you to do the same. Look, there's no use hanging around. There isn't any more. Just the usual rubbish from sponsors. Go on.
You better get out of teaching. Had a fellow on £1,000 in English. The trade. You know what I mean?
I don't understand him. He said he's got trouble with me. Well, goes both ways.
He is a bit hard to understand, I would think, in team meetings and the like, isn't he? He's a bit hard to understand.
Obviously, ladies and gentlemen.
That's obviously, ladies and gentlemen.
Go on, curry.
Well, our tactics have always been to equalise before the other team scored. I think they scored first and then we equalised, but we equalised the second time before they scored.
He goes!